Everyone
in the
here who
wrong
plays the
order.
game caught it. Played a Stormcloud after playing a Shard. Stormcloud is 0-2 for 2 with Flight, gains a counter every time you gain a charge. Every charge you gain, when it explodes, when it, as a basic action, sacrifices itself into a storm, creates a Stormling. One of 3 different, fairly powerful 1/1s with Flight. It's actually the first Sapphire we've seen outside of the first featured match with Infamous Neo, so that's cool. Stormcloud gaining a charge should be at 2. It's at 1.
So I think he's playing the team deck here because I'm pretty sure I know what he's got going on this one. Phelon's actually one of the members of the Dragonborn, so...
Yeah, I was thinking for future signups and things like that, that they can choose to tell us what country they're from, so we can include like a flag or something, or maybe guild.
You're getting pretty involved in all of this. What do you figure the proper time to pop a Stormcloud is?
You know, the best time is after you've played it and then played your Shard. And
This would have been much better than playing a Shard, then playing a Stormcloud, then popping it.
I mean, obviously it depends what you're against. If you're not against Crackling Bolts, then you just leave it there as long as you want and pop at the last possible moment. But here, I mean...
Probably about 3 most of the time, wouldn't you say, Neo?
I don't know, man. There's a lot of decks where you can just leave it there and not worry about it. Especially if you're running Monsoon and things like that. Like, I don't know. 3 seems like not enough. Like, you want a good chance of getting Bitty Bolt and Thunder Thingy, whatever his name is.
Thunderpuff.
Thunderpuff. You want to get both of those at the same time, because if you get either one of them, it's not that great.
Yeah, I mean it really is.
Splashy, right?
Well, Splashy's always good.
Yeah.
Well,
Bitty Bolt
like-
is splashy, yeah.
In
Have you guys ever noticed a trend? Sorry to cut you off, Tech, but
Thanks.
have you guys ever noticed a trend where if you like pop a Stormcloud with like 6 or 7 charges, you get like 5 of 1? Like you feel like your run is really unlucky, kind of thing. Because that's happened to me like a couple of times popping Stormcloud. Like I don't get some sort of like, because like the odds dictate that you would get at least a semi. Like over time, you would eventually have like a semi. Yeah, but I just seem to not be the case for me. So Zared Charge Power knocking down the Stink Troll to 2-1. I guess Phelon buying time. Deck of many things, 4 resources, 5 charges. Hasn't played anything other than that Stink Troll and Crackling Bolt. Still has 5 cards in hand though.
He might
Hard
just
to
be
say.
planning to use Crackling Rot on it, and he needed to do that in order to stop it from buffing itself.
Well, it can't buff itself.
Can it
Yeah,
not?
Troll does say another.
Yep,
I
Stink Troll
think-
specifically says another troop, which is
Oh,
why.
that's terrible.
Yeah, which is why earlier in the day we actually saw 2 Stink Trolls that targeted each other, which was actually a big deal. Looks like a lot of priority and lag is happening here. Looks like the Zared was for comboing with Cogpetal's Thirst. That will remove the Stink Troll, and in response, a Crackling Wit. I think this is it's like a 1.5 for 1.
Right.
Maybe like Zared Charge Power plus Cogpetal's Thirst. But then there's even more value for Lost, really, because Phelon isn't at 4 blood threshold, so the Cogpetal's Thirst doesn't draw a card.
Yeah, maybe
I feel
a
like he
little
didn't,
bit early
he
pulling
didn't
on
need
that
to
one.
do that. I think
Yeah.
he pulled the trigger a little bit too quickly there.
Yeah, I'm of the opinion that that was a pretty heavy-handed, like, I have to get rid of this before I take too much damage, and with so many cards in hand, maybe it wasn't the case. Deck of Many Things is at a ton of charges now and is just passing turns, so he must have... Maybe he's got a double Sapphire Threshold card in hand that he's waiting to play. What double Sapphire cards are we looking at here in Set 2 format?
Sorry, Tumbleweed. Yeah, I can't think of anything offhand that's playable, really.
Well, not even about playable. It's just really about having. I guess I could
mean,
go and look
he
at
may
his
be
deck
stuck-
list.
Yeah, we could look at his deck list, but I don't think we want to go there. But like he could be maybe just sitting on like a Zedu or something like that he just can't.
He could be
cast.
stuck off a third threshold even. Looks like he's got that Gore Master though. That's a pretty strong start. Again, I'm not a big fan of Shard into Gore Master when Deck of Many Things was already at 5 resources. I can't imagine there was a whole lot there that he's worried about getting to 6 or 7 for, maybe a Warbot Windchip. So now the Clouds at 4 charges should be at 5. This is the point where I think I would have popped it if it was 5 for sure. Dishonorable Death, 5 cost, basic action removal, voids out that Gore Master, and would force Deck of Many Things to...
Oh
Sorry?
man, he's got the draw card.
Oh, that's big plays.
So explain the play. Explain the play.
So Highland's Magus hits the board, gains the Inspire effect of Cerulean Mirror Knight. So all 2 and higher cost troops that enter play will now have the effect that when they die, Phelon will draw a card. He then pops his 4-cost Storm Cloud to create 4 2-cost troops, which do get inspired by that, and they all have relevant sacrifice effects. So that's a lot of card draw availability for Phelon whenever he's ready. That's a pretty good response, actually. Zakir from Deck of Many Things.
But is it going to be good enough?
Well, he's not under any pressure yet. Deck of Many Things. A single Power of Zakir card could certainly change this. And without 3 Thunderbolts, without 3 Biddy Bolts, he doesn't have enough sacrifice to just straight up kill Zakir. He's only got one. Phelon only has 1 card in hand, so it's a little bit of a toss-up here. Does he start sacrificing, trying to find cards, or what do you do here?
I mean, definitely just get rid of the splashies and get all the cards and see if you can find an answer.
Yeah, I think you swing with the splashies, though, of course. Like, you might as well swing with both. Well, yeah, you swing with both, and then are they basic actions, their abilities?
No, they're quick.
Yeah, so you can just sacrifice whichever one he blocks. Crackling Bolt off the foreground here, in addition to Zerid Charge Power from the Shard, in addition to sacrificing the Thunder Puff and the Biddy Bolt, is enough to get rid of Zakir. But that's... if it wasn't for the Highlands Magus having a specific Inspire trigger, 1 out of 19 here, or 18, I guess, because one of them is bugged, is pretty crazy. Phelon gets to draw a lot of cards here. Goes back up to 3 in hand. He's going to swing with the splashies to get damage in, and the Highlands Magus. Do you think he sacrifices the splashies here, or does he just keep them on board? I guess it depends on what's in his hand, right?
I mean, I think I would have swung there and saved the charge power, because if he'd have blocked one of them with Zakir, he wouldn't have needed to use the charge power. He could have just dealt the 1 damage with the splashy.
So that's an Azurfate Sorceress. For those of you that didn't get to read that in time, the major gem in Azurfate Sorceress is the draw a card out of the grave. Well, not draw a card out of the grave. It's
Turn a troop.
return a troop from the graveyard.